Okay, all right. There's a 1993 dark comedy that you must see. It is a good movie. I used to watch that almost all the time when I was a kid. It's Ed and his dead mother. Starring Steve Buscemi, who you might remember in or know in Reservoir Dogs and Big Daddy, and he's been in other Adam Sandler movies. Steve Buscemi with the bug guys. You know what I'm talking about. And Ned Beatty plays his Uncle Benny. Anyway, it's about well, oh, let me get my water out, and I'll start chatting with you. It's about Ed and his mother. I forget if she recently passed away or has been dead years ago, but his parents owned this hardware store, and he's still in charge of the hardware store. I don't know if he's owns it now or whatever, but and then some guy played by John Glover, who I thought did a good job in this movie, plays A.J. Pato. I forget the last name, but he's telling him he could bring back his dead mother, and of course it's going to cost a lot of money. And Ed, think at first, he thinks you just wouldn't believe that kind of stuff. Well, Ed's mother, Ed's Uncle Benny, his sister was Ed's mother, and he couldn't stand her. Like, he's glad that his sister's dead, but later on, when she does come back to life, you see Uncle Benny's face when he sees his dead sister in the kitchen because Ed didn't tell him what happened. It's just hilarious. You just gotta see that movie, especially on Ned Betty's face. This is so funny. But anyway, so AJ brings Ed's mother back to life. It's really hard to explain this kind of movie, but I always loved watching it. I thought it was weird, but I loved it anyway. Anyway, so the guy AJ brings back Ed's mother, and at first everything's fine because she does act like her normal self at first. Then you find out she starts to act weirder and weirder, and you have to feed her like. Well, they didn't bring her back to life. I mean, they brought her back from the dead. She was already dead when she came. It's kind of hard to explain. AJ, when he was telling Ed, no, we didn't bring her back to life. We brought her back from the dead, and in order to get her body moving, you have to feed her something that's alive, or you have to kill something that's already alive. In one scene where she passes out, AJ feeds her these two bugs, and she starts to come back. Well, not alive, but almost, woohoo! She says when she's back to life. And later on, this is funny. After AJ leaves, when Ed says, I think he says, "Mother, are you alright?" And she tells Ed and Uncle Benny, "Yes, I'm fine. You two fucks should be pretty happy." Or what she says, "You two fucks should be pretty hungry." Or yeah, and Ed said, "That's not like mother cussing like that." That was no. He says, "That's kind of weird for." I forget what he says, but basically he says that's weird for mother cussing like that, don't you think? Her, since she's not fully alive or active, she acts weird, and later on she starts to become hungry for more life. She starts killing people and animals. I think now in one scene she chases down a golden retriever with a fork and spoon in her hand with the knack and tie. That was both funny and disturbing, but mostly funny. What else happens? Oh yeah, this other guy played by Jonathan Gries or Grise, John Grise, who you might remember, who played Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite. I forget what his character's name, but he's a no. His character got caught stealing at the hardware store, so he was sent up to prison by Ed's mother. And when he gets out, he comes back. He comes back to the store when he's on parole or something. Yeah, on parole. I'll put it that way. And he starts being an asshole to Ed, and he comes to Ed's house, and Ed's mother kills him with a chainsaw. But they don't show it, but he kills him with a chainsaw. But it's just weird and funny, but I just love that movie. There's other cool scenes what happens in that movie. Well, yeah, oh yeah. there's this gorgeous next door neighbor played by Sam Sarbo or Sam Jenkins. I forget the actress's name, but she plays Storm Riddles. There was a scene where Uncle Benny was spying on her with his telescope, like, oh, please let her be naked. Oh God, please let her be naked. I'll even go to church for a month if you let her take off her clothes. Later on, she comes over to Ed's house and she starts making out with Ed. And that was before AJ brought back Ed's dead mother, and they were making out on the couch. It was so funny. But she was there for a reason. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to let you watch the movie to figure that out for yourself. But there's other scenes that makes me laugh at this movie. What do I remember? Oh yeah, there's one scene where Uncle Benny wants to get rid of her. She starts to shoot her, and the bullets doesn't affect her. When he shoots Ed's mother. Ed's mother's name was she was played by Miriam Magoris. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, I'm sorry. Miriam Magoris. Her character's name was Mabel Chilton. But the scene where Benny says to Ed, "We got to get rid of her. We got to get rid of her." He starts to shoot her in her head, but the smoke comes out, and it doesn't kill her. And he turns around and says, "Do you smell smoke?" The way it's just so weird and funny. And Ron Howard's dad, who recently passed away, I think last year. But he plays this preacher guy who can't stand his wife because his wife's a slut. That's not nothing to do with Ed and his dead mother. He's just a character that's in the movie. I just wanted to tell you that, but I'm sorry. Let me start over. Ron Howard's dad, Rance Howard, has a small, well, not a small role, but a cameo. Not a cameo. Anyway, he plays this preacher guy whose wife is a total slut later on in the movie. That's not really the main plot. I just wanted to say that. Sure. That's all I'm going to say. There's more funny things in that movie. It was a disturbing, dark comedy, but I recommend Ed and His Dead Mother. There's one scene I loved. This was when Ed's mother, Mabel Chilton, already passed out for once. Uncle Benny's thinking she was dead. He said, "Do you think we what he said? Let me see." He tells Ed, "Looks like your mother's dead again. Do you think they're gonna let us use the same plot, or we gonna have to give her a different plot?" Boy, this movie was so cool in a dark way. It was directed by Jonathan Wacks. Yeah, I wrote their names down from the Internet Movie Database, but if I'm not pronouncing them right, I'm sorry. But check out Ed and His Dead Mother. They used to play that all the time on the Showtime channels. I don't have Showtime anymore or any of the movie channels, but when I was a child, they used to show this movie all the time, mostly on Showtime or the big movie channels like HBO, Cinemax. But check out Ed and His Dead Mother. It is a weird. I don't own the DVD, but it is a weird movie. I don't see. No, I never owned it on VHS either. I used to own a lot of movies on VHS back in the day, but not all of them. But some movies I now have on DVD, I still don't. Or movies I used to have on VHS, I do have on DVD, but not all of them. But so check out Ed and His Dead Mother, and I'm about to end this review. And please subscribe to my channel. You don't have to like me. You don't have to respect me. Please subscribe to my channel. I need more subscribers, and please follow me on Twitter if you want, under my name, Gizmo Burns. But go watch Ed and His Dead Mother. Yeah, Ed and His Dead Mother. I'm just trying to get the name right. It is a good, dark comedy. That's all I'm going to say about it. There's another scene. There's the ending. I'm not going to give away. I'm not going to. Let me start over. I'm not going to give away the whole ending, but I will say, in one scene, Ed realizes he's got to get rid of his mother, so he chops her head off with a chainsaw and buries her in a cemetery, and it gets discovered by the police. But he's found not guilty. He's let go. But there's another twisted ending I'm not going to say, but the twisted ending was hilarious and funny. I'll give you a clue. It's this old guy that Ed has known for years, and he's dead too. And when he sees him, he says, "Hey, Junior, it's great to be back." That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, that's it. Have a good one.